Did you recently receive a traffic ticket and you're here because you're a little bit frustrated about the fact that you received something you don't think you deserve? That's okay. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to fight a traffic ticket in San Antonio. You're in just the right spot. I think you're going to get some good detail. The secret to remember is when you see those lights come on, don't panic, don't worry. Remember, you are innocent until proven guilty. The police officer is simply making an assertion at that point, and you're going to have the right to tell a judge or a jury why you think that you were in the right or that the officer was wrong. Hi, my name is Justin Coquat. I'm a founding member of the Coquat law firm and run TrafficTicketSA.com. You've tuned in to Coquat TV, the Traffic Ticket Edition. You know, there are a lot of traffic tickets given out in San Antonio every year. If you receive a San Antonio traffic ticket, when you see those lights come on, remember, put both hands on the wheel. Use a blinker to pull over to the right-hand side of the road. Always pull over into a safe spot where it's well lit and you can feel comfortable having a discourse with the officer that's pulling you over. Remember that you have the right to remain silent even when you're pulled over. The police officer is going to ask you a few questions. You can let the officer know that you're not comfortable answering the questions. However, the officer does have the right to ask you for your driver's license and proof that you have valid registration or insurance. I recommend when you initially are pulled over, have those out and ready for the officer at the very beginning. Stay calm, don't make sudden moves. Remember, the police officer is nervous just as well as you are. You may feel that you're completely in the right, and you actually may be. That's perfectly fine, but the side of the road is not the place or the time to argue your case. That will come later on. Remember, just because you've been pulled over does not mean that you're guilty. You're not arguing your case right there. You're going to do that in court later, which brings me to another very important point. Don't forget, you have the right to an attorney. Attorneys do this for a living. Attorneys represent clients who have been accused of traffic violations for a living. We know the law and we have the ability to help. You also have the right to take your case all the way to a jury trial if you want to. That means that signing that ticket is not pleading guilty. It's not admitting guilt. It's not saying you've done anything wrong. When the police officer asks you to sign that ticket on the side of the road, all you are promising to do is show up to court or have an attorney show up to court for you on the day that you're instructed to. It does not talk about your guilt. Don't forget, you're innocent until proven guilty. For every crime. In Texas, traffic tickets are Class C misdemeanors. They are considered crimes, and therefore you have all the rights of an accused for a more serious crime. I actually have a story. There's an event. I learned to stay calm and be courteous and polite with the police officer when I was actually a young man in college. I decided that I was going to give the officer lip when he originally asked me why I was going at the pace I was, and I was rude and discourteous to the police officer. He then rewarded me with what is called a ticket with feathers. He walked around my car, measured the tread on my tire, noticed that there wasn't enough tread, looked and saw that I didn't have my license plate on the front, found everything he possibly could find that was not right, and gave me 6 different citations in that one single stop. I learned from that point that, again, I may have known that my the alleged initial infraction was wrong, but I did have other infractions that officers are trained to find. So when you get pulled over, make sure that you're courteous to that officer. That officer has the ability to let you go. That officer has the ability to really stick it to you if you're not careful, and they're human, and it does happen. I also had an event where at one point I was driving from San Antonio to Corpus, and I was moving rather quickly. I was actually headed down to Corpus Christi Municipal Court to take care of a traffic ticket there. When the officer pulled me over, he asked me why I was going so fast. I gave him an honest answer. I had both of my hands on the steering wheel, and I had my driver's license in my left hand and my insurance card in my right hand. I was able to immediately provide him with the information that he had asked for. He looked at it, came back, and said, "Do me a favor, be careful, slow down, and let me go." I was certainly guilty that day, but the officer decided that it was better to give me a warning. I truly believe he let me go because I was courteous to him and wasn't offensive. Remember, you're innocent until proven guilty when you're driving down the road and get stopped by a police officer. If you see lights come on behind you, there are a few steps you should definitely follow that may actually help you get out of the ticket. At the very least, won't get you any worse of a citation. Step 1, put your blinker on and move to the right-hand side of the road. Remember, stay calm. Step 2, I recommend you roll your window down, both front and back, especially if you have tinting. This allows the officer to feel comfortable as he walks up to your car. He can see that you have nothing to hide and that you're willing to talk with him. Step 3, put both of your hands on the steering wheel before the officer actually gets there. Again, this is comfort for the officer. He knows that you're cooperating and he can see your hands so that you're not going to make any sudden moves. Step 4, I recommend that you have your license and registration ready. If you keep your insurance card in your glove box or your driver's license in your back pocket in your wallet, before you go grab that, let the officer know, my license is in my back pocket, my insurance is in the glove box. That way he's ready to see you move. Also, generally remember to be courteous. Everyone wants to be treated with respect, and the officer is simply trying to do his job. He believes that you've broken the law. You may believe you haven't broken the law. This is not the time to have an argument on the side of the road. Everybody wants to get going and underway. So be courteous. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. I have found that following these steps very frequently will let the officer know that you weren't actually doing anything wrong. The officer will appreciate the fact that you've been courteous and sometimes will even let you go for this. So remember, if you've been pulled over, stay calm, be courteous, be prepared, help the officer feel comfortable. The side of the road is not the place to fight your traffic ticket. You have the right to an attorney. You have the right to take your case to court. So if you've learned something from our video today, make sure that you subscribe to our Coquat TV YouTube channel. If you have more specific questions, feel free to contact us at trafficticketsa.com or call us directly at 210-745-2000.